How not to get sick and how we get sick. So I've got this board with me right here where I'm going to be writing some stuff on here, and yeah, I'm just going to want to make sure you guys can see it. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to talk about is how our immune system works. And the cool thing is, guys, right now this is going to be on Instagram TV after this. Hey, what's up, guys? So this will be on Instagram TV after. I've got my phone right here filming, so I'm kind of going to be talking on both. I just have to make sure that the board gets seen in both. So here we go. All right, so let's discuss how our immune system works. You're going to see some writing up here. Don't worry about that. That's actually just kind of notes for me. So what we got going on here is why we get sick. And this is actually pretty simple to understand. A very easy concept, and why cold water actually helps us not get sick anymore. So one thing I always say that is when it comes to, I think, just overall general health, if someone makes it look like rocket science or they make it sound like rocket science, I think something's wrong. So I always say the shit gets hard when they start cutting things open. So when I speak with orthopedic surgeons, heart surgeons, any type of surgeon, that is where things get difficult. But when you're speaking with a physio, when you're speaking with a nutritionist, when you're speaking with a chiropractor, an osteopath, or really anybody else that doesn't cut shit open, this should not be that difficult. And if we're not able to break it down for you in a way in which you can understand, then either the person doesn't know what they're talking about, or or they're not good at teaching what they're talking about. So unfortunately, I'm going to say hi to the last people here, and then I really got to do this. Whoops. Because I always turn these things around when I try to do this. All right, so that's the last wave. Let's get started. All right, guys, so let's understand the immune system. So we have basically a threshold for when we're going to get sick. So let's say we've got a scale of, let's say, do I even want to draw a bottom line? I think I'm going to make it easier. And let's imagine, okay, so let's say we have a scale here and here. And let's say, God, what would this be? This would be extremely healthy. So let's say extremely healthy and extremely sick. Yeah, extremely sick. So like dead, basically, but that's a bit dramatic. So in this area right here, we're going to have things that fall in between. So if you're extremely healthy, you're up here. If you're extremely sick, you're down there. And then we have the common cold, the flu. The common cold or flu, or whatever you want to call it, right? That is, let's say, in this situation, right there. So here is extremely sick, here is extremely healthy, and this is the level, yeah? So this is like an X and Y axis here, so we can kind of do it like this if you want. Extremely sick, extremely healthy. This is the common cold and flu right there. Now, I did an Instagram video on this that was 2 separate 1-minute videos, so if you guys have already seen this, this will make sense. If not, don't worry about it, because it's a very easy concept to understand. If I want to stay out of the way here, if this is extremely sick, this is extremely healthy, and this right here is the common cold, so let's call it that, common cold and flu right here. Well, then the problem is a lot of our here. Hold on a second. Gucci, you want to say hi? Hi. If you guys hear any snoring, it's her right there. I stole her chair to have the iPad on top. So Gooch, I'm sorry, you got your chair stolen now. But if this is the common cold and flu, the problem is our immune system should be way up here where it's extremely healthy, right? But it's not, because we just have too much bullshit going on. So really, our immune system most likely is right there. Now, I apologize for maybe it's going to get a bit congested here, but if need be, I can just erase it away. So here's the common cold and flu. Here is our normal average immune system. And even this being so high above the common cold and flu, I'm being generous. The problem is when our immune system is right here, our immune system gets stressed when other people are sick, when we're not sleeping very well, when we, are stressed out, when things called life happen, our immune system is going to get stressed out. So as our immune system gets stressed, it gets suppressed, meaning it goes down. So if our normal immune system is right here, it is going to go down a little bit, like that. And then what we're going to notice is now our immune system is no longer there, but it is here. So you realize if our immune system is now this line in the middle, the bottom line is the common cold and flu, then it makes a lot of sense why when our immune system gets suppressed a little bit, we might get a little bit of a sore throat, we might get a little bit of a cough, our shoulder might start to hurt, our lower back might start to hurt. This is all because we're getting closer to that common cold and flu. Our immune system is still healthy, but it's getting weaker, and this bacteria or this virus is almost stronger than our immune system. And the minute it's stronger than our immune system, we break apart and we get sick. And my theory is that a lot of people are dancing in this area. That's why they're not always sick. But then when they're, like I said, not sleeping well, when they have a lot of exams at school, when they're partying too hard, when people are sick around them and they're introduced to other stresses, their immune system gets suppressed, and that is why they get close to being sick, or they get suppressed again, and either the immune system is on the same line as a common cold and flu, or the immune system goes down here. Well, the minute your immune system is here, you're sick, because this right here is the common cold and flu, so this line right there, and if your immune system goes down here because of different things suppressing it, like people getting sick, stress, everything I mentioned before, then now your immune system is there and you are sick. Because the common cold is there, your immune system is here, that is what makes you sick. Let me get a rag, perfect, right here. So that is what we want to prevent. So let me erase that, and I'm going to draw it again. Oops, lock these things down here 1 second. Alright, so if that is the case, then let's do it again. So here we have extremely sick, extremely healthy, and this is the common cold and flu. Yeah, so right there, I'll even write it again. Common, I don't think you can see this, cold and flu, right there, alright? And if our immune system, like I said, is just a little bit above it, we're going to have a problem when the stress comes in. I'm going to turn this just a bit so people on Instagram can see me a bit better. If that's the problem, then when our immune system goes down here, this is where we are sick. So we need to make sure our immune system never hits the common cold and flu line, because that's when the symptoms are going to come in, and never drops down. So now we know why people are sick, because our immune systems are basically bullshit, and we've got to increase them so we don't get sick. Now the question is, why are they so bad? Well, that's simple, guys. Because we're 95% the same as the Steinzeitmensch. I'm speaking German. We're 95% the same as the, hold on, it'll come back in English, cavemen and women were. The difference is we always have our jackets on. When it's cold, we have our hats on. We have the heaters on. When it's hot, we have the air conditioners on. We're always living in our comfort zone. And since we're always living in our comfort zone, and our immune system is something called an anti-fragile system, meaning if we don't use it, it's just going to continue to get weaker, our immune system gets weaker. So we need to stress our immune system. But in a world we live in where maybe one kid has a fucking peanut allergy, so the entire school can't have peanuts or cashews or almonds or even bring dried fruit because maybe that was made in a factory that has peanuts or could have peanuts, of course our immune system's getting weak. There was a study done where they had 600 kids, 600 families, 300 of them, and all the 600 mothers, I should say, I'm sorry, all the kids had weak immune systems, so they had, either an immune system issue or eczema or whatever. They had something that made them prone to allergies. 300 of them. What is this class? Oh, dude, this is just a webinar I do every Thursday, man. We're talking about the immune system and how we can strengthen it and why it's weak. So, 300 kids were told to stay far away from peanuts, or they told their parents because the kids were super young, and the parents stayed far away from peanuts. The other 300 kids were given a snack with peanut-like dust on it. It was an Israeli-like snack they could eat that had peanuts involved in it. The kids that were told to stay away from the peanuts, or the parents that were told to keep their kids away, had a 17% increase in their peanut allergy. So 17% of those 300 kids had a peanut allergy. The other ones that were eating peanuts, 3% of them had a peanut allergy. So that shows you that if we keep ourselves away from things, it doesn't make us stronger, it makes us weaker. So we must stress the immune system, because if we do not, it will get weak. So back to the point here, if this is the common cold and flu, this is where we want to stay away from. We've got to find a way when our immune system is right there to bring it up. We need our immune system to increase. Now the question is, how can we do that? And that, boys and girls, is very simple. If we want to increase our immune system, we have to do something that is not going to kill us, but make us stronger. And the way we do that is we need to stress our immune system, allow it to be suppressed, so it's going to go down a little bit, but then allow it to go stronger, grow stronger. And if you saw in the webinar, I was going to talk, why is my English so good? Because I come from America, man. I'm not German. It's just my company's in Germany. But why does cold water work? Well, one, because it's fucking cold. And two, this is something our body needs. So, when our immune system is here, we start taking cold showers, it's going to suppress our immune system, it's going to stress our immune system, and what that's going to do is that's going to move our line closer to the flu. So a lot of times when people first start the cold showers, they realize they either get sick because their immune system goes below the common cold and flu, or they get symptoms of being sick. They get a bit of a headache, they get some lower back pain, they get a cough, they get a bit of sore throat. A lot of people notice this, including myself, before I started this, when I used to do the saunas in Germany, where you would sit in like a hot sauna and then you would stand outside wet. I would always notice that I would get a little bit of a sore throat, and I didn't know why. I thought that was normal, but that's because my immune system was basically shit. So what that did is that brought me down to the line of the common cold and flu, and that was what I was feeling. So what we need to do is we need to use the cold water to suppress our immune system, because what does not kill us will make us stronger. So after it decreases, it will then increase. Now the trick here is, a lot of people are like, all right, man, how rein? I'm going to start, that's German for let's go. I'm going to start my cold shower tomorrow, and I'm going to make it freezing cold. Yeah, okay, that's cool. But the problem is, if we make it freezing cold and it's like January or February in a very cold place, the water is much colder than it normally is. So sometimes it's not the best idea to start freezing cold if you've never done it before and you know your immune system is not that strong. So I usually tell people, instead of going all the way to the cold, maybe go halfway. We're talking about this at the end for 30, 45 seconds, whatever. That will be the call to action we do at the end. But maybe not go all the way freezing cold, because we want to suppress our immune system, but not so much that we have to get sick. We can do this with maybe getting some symptoms to no symptoms, but still increase our immune system and strengthen it. For example, if you just turned your water just a bit colder than you normally do, maybe instead of moving your immune system down so far, you would just get it a bit. So it goes down, it gets suppressed, so it's going to grow back stronger, but not enough to where you actually get sick, or that you actually feel the symptoms of getting sick. So same thing, sorry. So now you take the cold shower, the immune system suppresses, and then what happens? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. The immune system gets a bit stronger. So now if your immune system is there, we can take all of this stuff away here, and now what do you have? This space in between is your insurance from getting sick. So, what I mean by that, here's the common cold and flu. This is where you're sick. Now your immune system has moved up. So now you're here. So now when you're around those sick kids, or I don't know, you have a stressful semester, you've got a lot of tests to study for, whatever it may be, and that suppresses your immune system. Well, now when your immune system goes down, it might go down to this level here. But if your immune system now goes here, you still have all of this space between you and the common cold and flu. So, here we are. We continue to take our cold showers. Our common cold and flu is right here. Your immune system is now right here, you continue the cold showers, you continue to run into sick people, you continue to do whatever. So what happens? Your immune system gets suppressed because it's an anti-fragile system. We call it fragility. So what happens? Your immune system goes down again. When it goes down, where does it go down to? Yeah, a little bit down here, but you still have all that space in between being sick. But what happens if it doesn't kill you? It makes you stronger. So then what happens? Your immune system gets stronger, and now your immune system is here. So now you have all of this space. And this process continues to happen again and again and again and again. So as you continue to go, your immune system suppresses, and then it gets stronger. So then it's here. It suppresses, and it gets stronger. So then it's here. And then at fucking God knows, after a few years, your immune system might be right there, and let's erase all of this stuff in between here. So now, if your immune system is here, right here, and the common cold and flu is here, there is nothing that is going to bring you down here. It's just not possible. And when it's that high, this is when, for example, in Germany, we have outdoor spas in the wintertime where the water is 10 degrees Celsius, so that's, I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit anymore, but it's cold. I go outside, you have to be naked because it's Germany. I'm in the water, I'm wet, 10 minutes, obviously in the water, stand out in the snow with nothing on, have a conversation with somebody, because that's how Germany rolls, outside, wet, in the snow, in the fucking winter time, and I don't get sick. How is that possible? If you guys follow me on some of my social medias, or if you looked at my website or whatnot, you see the pictures of me meditating in the snow. How is that possible? Well, that's possible because when I do that, maybe it brings my immune system down here, but I still have so much space before I get sick, it doesn't matter. So the common cold and flu is so far away from my immune system, it's not possible for me to get sick. And you know what's very interesting is before I started all this, I was sick on average 3 to 5 times a year. So it's not like I've never been sick. I'm 37 years old. I came to Germany when I was 30, and I was sick all the time because my body was not acclimatized to this warm, cold, warm, cold, warm, cold, and it absolutely destroyed my immune system. So I was always sick. And then what did the doctors want to do? They wanted to put me on antibiotics because what I had couldn't be cured, I don't know, by itself, and it needed to be put on antibiotics because antibiotics help everything. Point number 2, that is completely wrong. Because what happens is when we get our immune system, let's start there, 80% of our immune system basically comes from our gut. Our immune system is made up, the strength of our body, from the mitochondria of our cells, so the nucleus of the cells. If our mitochondria is weak, we are weak. If our mitochondria is bulletproof, we are bulletproof. Well, guess where the basic mitochondria of our body is produced and made and maintained? The gut microbiome. So if the gut microbiome in you is broken, you're broken. How do we not break the gut microbiome? We have to eat natural, organic things, so to speak, food. So not organic meaning like you go to fucking Whole Foods and buy them there. Organic meaning it's not synthetic. Comes from the earth. If we eat these organic things, we have the natural bacteria in our gut that we need to maintain our immune system. 85% of our immune system comes from our gut, and our gut is a balance of good and bad bacteria. So if our gut is full of bad bacteria, we cannot maintain our immune system, therefore we get sick. What is the point of this? Because this is not a nutrition lecture. The point of this is, what do you think happens when we take an antibiotic, so antibacteria? Well, I just told you that the gut microbiome is like the fucking most important thing ever, and it's a balance of good and bad bacteria. And then you say antibiotic, which means antibacteria, not anti-bad bacteria, antibacteria. That means when you take that, it totally wipes your gut, so to speak, clean of all bacteria. If our gut is our immune system, the gut is a balance of good bacteria and bad bacteria. We take a pill that wipes out all the bacteria. We're starting at 0. It's putting a baby out in the snow naked. It has no defense system. And then the problem is, where did I say the good and the bad bacteria come from? Well, the bad bacteria comes from basically the Western diet. The good bacteria comes from eating whole foods that come from the earth. What do most of us eat? Processed bullshit foods. Therefore, we build the bad bacteria instead of the good bacteria, and bam, we have no immune system. And that's why, back to my little point, our immune system is so low. So again, this is not a nutrition lecture, so why am I talking about this? Because, boys and girls, medicine is not organic, like the antibiotics, obviously meaning antibacteria. The other one is everything else. So Robitussin, Panadol, Tylenol, ibuprofen, Aleve, paracetamol, everything. Guys, this is synthetic bullshit from the pharmacy. Yeah, it makes you maybe feel better because it masks your symptoms, but we know that it destroys the gut. All of them do. And if we destroy the gut, you now understand that we destroy our immune system. And if we destroy our immune system, we can understand why our immune system is not up here, but it is way down there. And when it gets stressed, we get a cold, common cold and flu. So if you're like, okay, you know what? Cold showers, man, I'm going to make my fucking immune system stronger. And we are, let's go back a little bit. Let's backtrack here. So you're here, back to the beginning, where your immune system is very close to the common cold and flu, and you're like, you know what? Here we go, baby. I am taking cold showers. Great. So then you suppress your immune system, like we said in the beginning. It gets closer to that common cold and flu, and then you're like, I feel a bit sick. Oh man, my back hurts a little bit. You start getting common signs of the cold and flu because you're closer. And what do? Oh, I'll take some ibuprofen. That will help me. I'll take some aspirin cold and flu. That will help me. Well, that is defeating the purpose because now you are destroying your gut, the exact goddamn same thing we're trying to fix. So if your immune system goes down, what does not break you makes you stronger. Your gut needs to then say, okay guys, we're getting a bit sick. We need to build this immune system back. But then if you kick it while it's down and give it something synthetic, it doesn't understand, which on top, we know that these synthetic medicines, so medicine, pills, anything under the sun, ibuprofen, Tylenol, the whole list, is also not supportive of mitochondrial health. Now, if you might be like, what in the world is mitochondrial health? What is mitochondria? I mentioned it a few seconds ago. If you still don't get it, don't worry about it. It's the nucleus, the powerhouse of a cell. And if that is broken, your cell is broken. If your cell is broken, you are broken. It's like the engine of a car. You can have the best fucking Lamborghini in the world, but if your engine doesn't work, doesn't really do so much. So we need to keep the engine of our body working. What keeps the engine of the body working? Our gut microbiome. What destroys our gut microbiome? Synthetic medicines. So that would technically also make sense why when we're like, well, why does tea work? Why does, what else? Let's just use tea as an example, going blank on other ones. Why would tea be so helpful? What does tea do? Well, what is tea? Tea is usually natural herbs from the ground that are what? Organic, meaning carbon-based, meaning from the earth. So then if we're drinking something like that and it goes into our gut microbiome, which is what? A balance of good and bad bacteria? Well, there we go. So now something organic is going to help the balance and the regeneration of our gut. So that is why something like tea might not make you feel better at the beginning, but those organic things like Chinese medicine make sense. So now we are up here with our immune system because we've been doing the cold showers, we've been doing whatever we want, and now we realize, like myself, I've not been sick in 2.5 years. I don't get sick. I'm hanging around fucking sick people all the time. I'm a goddamn physio, and it doesn't matter. I don't get sick, and I won't get sick, and I'm not afraid to be sick. I'm standing outside naked, wet in the winter. For any of you non-Germans, that might sound strange. It's a total normal thing here. We have outdoor spas, and I'm fine. And before, I was always sick. So it's not like I was not sick. And I'm 37 years old. It's not like I'm some 22-year-old kid with a rock-solid immune system. They don't have one either. They just don't get sick as often as us old men do. So with that being said, that's why our immune system is complete crap. We need to strengthen it because it's an anti-fragile system, meaning it's not fragile. If it doesn't kill us, it makes you stronger, and that's why we have to try to stress it so it becomes stronger. So, your call to action is very simple. Depending on where in the world you are, this is a little bit, how would you say? Depending on where in the world you are, you need to personalize this information. Because right now I'm in Germany, it's March and it's still freezing cold. So, if you're in like Florida or Greece or, I don't know, Cairo or Dubai or somewhere where it's Arizona, Southern California, where it is warm, your water might not be that cold. So in that case, turn it all the way cold when you take a shower. If you have never done something like this before and you're in like Norway, Finland, Maine, Philadelphia, Germany, Denmark, somewhere where it's very cold, Russia, then maybe you want to start a bit slower. If you want to start a bit slower, that's totally fine. That means don't turn it all the way cold, turn it halfway. Now the question is, when do we start? Do we start the cold shower in the beginning or the end? There's a massive difference. And how long do we do it? I'll get to that in a second. When we start, two options. I would suggest if you've never done anything like this before, start at the end of your shower because 1, the shower is going to be warm. 2, the bathroom is going to be warm. 3, you're going to be warm because the warm shower that you've taken before is going to warm up the body. So when you take those 30-second cold shower, of course it's going to be cold, but it won't be as cold if you start in the beginning. So always start, in my suggestion, with a 30-second cold shower at the end. If you've never done it before, Alicia, what's going on? She's coming from Lithuania. So Lithuania, Lithuania. Latvia? Shit, I always get those two countries mixed up, man. But either way, they're both cold, so it doesn't matter. I would probably not start freezing cold. I would start halfway because it's cold in that country. So I would say halfway, 30 seconds at the end. Yeah, you can't warm up after the shower, but you will realize you feel amazing when you get out of the shower. And if you're really that cold, Alicia is a woman, Russia there, exactly, then use a blow dryer, man. That is totally cool. But you will feel like $1,000,000 from that cold water. When you get a bit better, you can go 45 seconds to a minute. You can slowly start making it cold. I made it completely freezing on the beginning myself. In the 6-week program I took, the first 3 weeks took me 3 months because I was always sick. So do it if you want. Just take care that the goal here is not to get you sick. All right? So with that being said, if you want to take it in the beginning, this, boys and girls, is more of a mindset thing because you will be shocked the difference between the warmth of your body, the warmth of the bathroom, the warmth of the shower, and believe it or not, the coldness of the water because it hasn't had a chance to warm and heat up yet when you start in the beginning. But when you do your cold shower in the beginning or in the end, one thing you have to do is stay in your relaxed breathing. We have 2 nervous systems. We have a fight and flight, so the sympathetic nervous system, and then we have the relaxed and calm, the parasympathetic nervous system. Sorry, I always get those backwards. So we want you not to be in a fight and flight. We want you to be relaxed because this is very important for your body, for your immune system, and for your nervous system, and also for your brain. It allows you to learn how to stay calm in stressful situations. So that means when you're in the shower, I don't want you breathing from your chest. You should be able to stay relaxed and breathe from the stomach. So the stomach should be getting fat. If you're breathing like that, that is wrong. That is from your chest. That is sympathetic breathing from the sympathetic nervous system. That is not what we want because we are not relaxing the system. So the beginning your shower cold is a complete mindset exercise, and you will see what I mean when you start, and also when you're good at it when you go through your day. Because when you go through your day and you're able to take a 30-second, 45-second, 1 minute, 5-minute shower in the beginning, remain calm, not freak out, and you get in a tough situation throughout the day, you will realize how it just fucking slides right off your shoulder because you have trained your mind for more difficult things. Laugh all you want, but give it a try, give it a shot, and when you're able to crush the cold shower in the beginning, you will realize how right I was. So, your call to action here is start a cold shower at the end of your shower for 30 seconds. You can go all the way cold if you want. You can go partially cold if you want. If you've already been doing it, fantastic. Then do it in the beginning of your shower. If you've already done it in the beginning of your shower, fantastic. Then go colder. Go longer, I'm sorry. Get in there. If it's been 30 seconds, do 45. And if you guys are just already been doing this for a long time, fantastic. Then either go in a very cold ice bath or try the 5 to 10 minute challenge. That is, you walk in the shower, you're not warm at all, and you do, I would suggest 10 minutes ice cold. However, that is probably for very few of you out there, because I do not want you to start like that, because it goes back to our immune system. If your immune system is right there and you do a 10-minute cold shower, you're gonna fucking drop that thing way below the cold and flu, and that's not what we want. We want to suppress the nervous system so it can grow back stronger. But in order to do that, we have to make sure we do it correctly. And when we feel the common signs of the cold and flu, we don't take anything synthetic. You can do tea, you can do anything natural, you can breathe, you can sleep, but don't take medicine. And soon, your guys' fucking immune system will be right there where mine is. And I will say it again, I was sick 3 to 5 times a year when I first got in Germany. Now I can sit in ice water, I can walk outside in snow with just my swimsuit on. I can do whatever I want and I don't get sick. So I don't know what to tell you guys other than the fact that this shit works. You just have to do it, and you don't want to start too fast because I don't want to make you guys sick. So I think, let's see here, cold showers while they work. Yes, last note. Why the cold showers are enough? A lot of people might ask me if they should also do a ice bath and things like this. If you guys know Wim Hof, it gets very extreme. Also, I just told you I did ice baths. Do you need to do an ice bath to not get sick? No, you do not, because it goes back to our theory here. All we have to do is suppress the immune system. We have to challenge the immune system. And then no matter what, where your immune system is, you can challenge it with cold water. You just have to do something that it's not regularly used to. I can't talk. Just like working out. You don't have to go to a CrossFit class and destroy yourself so you can't walk for 5 days to get more fit. As long as you do something where you get a little bit of sore muscles in the abs or wherever you want to work, things grow back stronger. It's the same thing with your immune system. If your immune system is way up here and you want to do an ice bath to really get some other effects neurologically and chemically and hormonally and really suppress your nervous system, go ahead. But if you just want to stay fucking healthy and not be sick, you do not need, in my opinion, an ice bath. A cold shower, honestly, for 30 seconds at the beginning and the end is enough. So if you guys don't have any questions, I'm gonna, I think, pause the film here because this is gonna go on, this one's gonna go on Instagram TV, so you guys will be able to watch this again. You've been able to see everything here. I'm gonna pause this right here.